After many weeks away, Tim and Joel call it in the ring. We were
Isn't
here
it
last
strange?
week.
We were here
last week. I'm trying to get a cheap pop because that's the go-to right now.
We have made our returns to our homes and places of business.
Yes, there we go.
How are you doing, Tim?
Pretty good. Living my life.
Yeah, just one day at a time.
Yep. Watched like I even watched a Rampage. Watched Rampage. Yeah. Watched Raw, watched SmackDown, watched Dynamite. Didn't watch NXT.
No, I understand. August is a really weird month this month because there's no SummerSlam. SummerSlam is the end of July. There are no pay-per-views for like the first time in decades in August. So like my weekends are completely devoid of pro wrestling, like the mainstream pro wrestling. So like GCW ran last night. So like and like I was keeping tabs on an XPW show. I really regret that. Anyway,
what does the X stand for?
Extreme. Yeah, XPW, otherwise known as the company that was profiled on Dark Side of the Ring. But I was paying attention because Taya Valkyrie is their women's champion. And because of that, I'm currently taking stock of how Taya's championship reigns are going. Because at Emergence, she dropped the Knockouts tag titles. And so I have a theory, Tim, that Taya might start dropping her plethora of titles. She doesn't hold the Knockouts tag titles anymore, but she does hold the XPW Women's Championship still after last night. She retained over Jody Threat. And then she's got the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, which she is defending against Thunder Rosa at Triple Mania. And that's October 15th in Tijuana. And then she has the MLW Featherweight Championship, which is their women's championship. So she's got 3 championships. She had 4. If she starts dropping them by the end of October, I think we might see Frankie Monet back.
I was going to say, to what end? Retirement? No, yeah.
No, God, no. I think her and maybe Johnny Morrison.
Yeah, bring back John. Good. Bring both back.
Johnny Drip Drip. Let's do it.
Maybe we'll finally get Ms. Maurice Morrison and Monet.
Yes. And I talked about that on the True Heel Heat Friday night watch along. Thank you, by the way, True Heel Heat. Y'all had me on. That was a blast. I had a good time. We were watching SmackDown, Rampage, and Impact Emergence. You know what show ended last of the 3? Unfortunately, it was Rampage.
Yeah.
I did not like Rampage this week. I'm sorry.
No. Yeah, I very much enjoyed Dynamite, but Rampage was not good.
They cut out the one thing that I thought, well, that spoiler wise they had, and that was the Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara challenge and acceptance. Sorry, spoilers for All Out, and they didn't put that in the Rampage show this week, even though they taped it. It's very strange. Don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're
probably
just correcting
doing it on Dynamite.
Whatever. It was the Parker Boudreaux show on
Rampage. It sure was. I don't know what the hell.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What the hell? It was exactly what you expected.
I am disappointed by whatever the Trustbusters are. Again, another thing that began on Dark and has, they've done a good job of explaining what the hell. But it sucks. And who is that dork with the upside down visor?
First of all, that is independent wrestling legend Slim J. How dare you?
Slim J. Okay.
Yeah, I know. No one's going to explain to you who he is, even though he does have an extensive background in wrestling.
That's good.
But you wouldn't know because sometimes AEW just doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, Dynamite was a lot of fun. It felt disjointed. I was DMing with a couple people and we were just kind of like, it's good, but it's weird. There was a lot of backstage promos for a change.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad for AEW.
Well,
At one point it was all matches and no storytelling. This time it felt like they're trying, but some of the stuff they were trying for was weird. Like the women's segment with Thunder Rosa and Toni Storm being like, Chris Statlander's injured, so guess what? You're the number 1 contender, Toni Storm. And Toni Storm's like, yeah, I guess I am.
Even though I just lost my shot.
It's very strange, but we'll get into AEW, we'll get into WWE, we'll talk about all these returns. It is return season. But first, how about we tell you that you can leave a thumbs up here on this video. Here on Fightful Overbooked, leave us a comment and subscribe to the channel because guess what? We're going to overtake that main Fightful channel. We are going to be ahead of the 76,000 of you that subscribe to Fightful. Instead, how about you subscribe to Fightful Over the Book? We also have a Discord link. Go. It's in the Discord. We talk about wrestling. We hang out. We do the whole thing. Go and join us. Tim's just staring aimlessly at the camera as he says, I love the Discord. And you can send us your super chats. Support us here at Fightful Overbooked. It's that little $sign underneath the chat here on youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. Timothy, where do we start?
Let's talk about this in a structured way rather than the chaos I was trying to introduce a moment ago.
I enjoyed this.
Raw?
I enjoy that.
Raw?
Raw? You want to start with Raw? So it's funny because I'm thinking about all these returns and I'm just like, oh, there was Karrion Kross a couple weeks ago. And then they did Hit Row on SmackDown, and then on and then CM Punk came back, and Kenny Omega's probably coming back on Wednesday. And I was like, what happened on Raw? And then I remembered Dexter Lumis came back on Raw.
He sure did, in a way that was like made clear via social media, but on the show you could kind of see it, and then they're like, is that
they did a
and then we just saw AJ celebrate for 5 more minutes.
But I mean, I love the way they did it. They didn't draw.
I didn't complain. Like, I'm not complaining. It was just it was strange. The show is much more watchable all of a sudden. And again, I can't believe how quickly this is happening. Like, exactly.
I very much enjoyed the way that they had Dexter Lumis reintroduced. They didn't do it. They drew absolutely like 10% attention to it.
Yeah.
They did exactly what you would in a real sports environment where you're just like, oh, a fan seems to have ran on the field, but they're panning and they're not showing you the fan. They're just kind of alerting you to the fact that something happened. And I thought that was really good. The car crash stuff in the background of Raw throughout the night was both hilarious and jarring. I felt bad for the talent who were doing interviews while everyone on social media.
I did not find it that bad. You can rewatch stuff, eh? Like,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, stop watching it live. Just rewatch it after, and you can go back, and if you find you can't focus on one thing or the other, you can just watch both. Go back, do a second pass. I didn't mind it. I thought that was very interesting. It's different. Like I like that something weird is happening in the show. Like, pro wrestling to me should be like, at any given time you have like 12 different stories, little stories being told on a show. Right. And both SmackDown and Raw should have 12 separate stories so that you can leave a couple off, but everyone gets like, 5 to 15 minutes per show, and you tell a little bit more of a story, like a soap opera. Right. So,
yeah. Sorry, I'm noticing that my focus is off. I know. I'm not focused today, Tim. I'm not focused. Now I am. I use a manual focus because the automatic ones are dog shit in my world. So I just, because they'll fixate on the masks instead of me. The masks are prettier than I am.
The more drawing faces. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, I did enjoy the way that they did this because, again, in pro wrestling, this is a Kevin Dunn / Vince McMahon theory for the most part, but it actually is one of the ones that work. And it's the idea that you leave your audience remembering 2.5 things. Mm-hmm. And every show you should walk away being like, I remember this, and I guess someone might jog my memory about this. And I think all of wrestling this week, minus Rampage, did a really good job of giving you that 2.5.
I remember at least, I remember one.
Remember Parker?
Yeah, which is the worst.
But if the show's going to be 3 hours or 2 hours, then 2.5 things is great. If it's 1 hour, I guess one thing is fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the one thing is Parker. Then
they've just made some decisions that are befuddling to me, to say the least. But we'll get there.
We'll get to that. Yeah. So I mean, what do you want to start with? The women's tag team tournament has opened up.
Yes.
The teams are very interesting. On the left bracket, you've got Tamina and Dana Brooke, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Asuka and Alexa Bliss, and Nikki ASH and Doudrop. In the original photo, it was Doudrop, Duo drop.
That sounds like a Pokemon. It really does.
It does. They fixed it. Either way, Tamina and Dana Brooke are defeated by Io Sky and Dakota Kai. No shock there.
No surprise. Yeah.
On the right side of the bracket, the SmackDown side, they've got SmackDown and NXT. It's Raquel Rodriguez, Aaliyah, and then they took on Shotzi and Xia Li this past Friday night. Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark from NXT are taking on Natalya and Zoe Deville. Wow. Sonya Deville. So we'll get into the match on SmackDown, but it was kind of weird that they telegraphed the finals for the women's tag team tournament, at least on the SmackDown side, the semifinals. Yeah. It feels like it's Io and Dakota going all the way to the end, unless they decide to pull a fast one and then do a Io and Dakota, the women's tag finals are in Clash of the Castle, at which point the 6-woman tag that they set up in the opening segment of Raw becomes totally. It just becomes 6 women and not about the women's tag titles or about the Raw women's tag titles. I think they're kind of being purposely daft about when the finals will be. And it might be because of that. And it might also be the Sasha Naomi segment.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like it's they're just trying to time things out, keeping their options a little bit open in case, because I don't think it's finalized yet.
I don't know. I feel like it's finalized. I feel like they're waiting on some creative plan. That's my general feeling. But it feels like they're back. It feels like they're back, or at least they're packing their bags and getting ready to take a vacation and then come back fresh. I don't know. How are you feeling about the women's tag tournament? You saw the match between Tamina and Dana and Io and Dakota, and then we saw what happened on SmackDown. How are you feeling about this tournament? Stumpy brackets. I know they're your favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it's better. It's better than it was before in that there is a women's tag tournament. The teams are all thrown together. I like that they acknowledge that on the commentary. Mm-hmm. There's a means to an end. I think they can rebuild after they actually have tag champions. Hopefully set up some actual tag teams. I mentioned on Twitter, like, I long for the day when tag teams enter as tag teams because they're actually tag teams rather than this like seeing Aaliyah and Raquel come out separately. It's like, I don't care. Like, hate it so much. Just make tag teams. Like, hire more people.
Don't worry, they're doing that.
That they're doing, yeah. Which is, it's plaguing them right now. So it's good to see that they're working towards it. This, like I said, this tournament is a means to an end. Just build up Bayley's faction and keep going. Like,
but here's the thing: do you really want to give it to Dakota and Io, and then bring in Sasha and Naomi to have them defeat Dakota and Io?
You're right, because then we need a third for Naomi and Sasha, which I don't know.
Not even that. I mean the women's tag titles.
Yeah.
You've got
I mean to continue anything after that, you need someone else in there. But
you just had Tamina and it's Team Bad all over again.
No.
What?
Leave Tamina out of it.
Tamina is always the answer, Tim. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, for you anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Well, who do you think is winning to drop it? Maybe Doudrop and Nikki.
Well, I mean, honestly, I made that comment about Nikki and Doudrop getting a shot at Clash of the Castle if the finals were a Clash of the Castle.
Oh yes, yeah, you did talk about that last week.
Yeah, we talked about it last week, and the reason being because they're both from the UK. They're not too far from home. Cardiff versus Scotland, and Nikki is she Scottish? They're both Scottish. They're both Scottish. So it's like a 3-hour plane ride. But either way, like they're in their home vicinity. But I don't know. Like you could do Alexa and Asuka versus Naomi and Sasha, but then one of those teams has to turn. And if it's Naomi and Sasha, like that's fine. And then Naomi, like you can have Naomi integrate herself with the bloodline, which I know people have been like really after.
I don't know that that's happening.
I don't think it's happening either. But we'll see. Again, because it's a new world and the Triple H world is now, we'll listen to you if you have a creative idea.
Yeah.
It could happen. But I don't know. That's the one thing. It's like this is it's built up to be so obviously Io Sky and Dakota Kai that it almost can't be Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
And yeah, I don't know. I think Doudrop and Nikki are actually good choices to have, like slingshot it, to just win it, lose it, move on. They get another feather in their cap that the commentary can nod to, like, Nikki will have then been a women's champion and a tag team champion. So
3 weeks ago, this absolutely would have happened.
Nikki and
Zoe winning.
Well, I don't think they would have been in the bracket. I think they would have found two other.
There wouldn't have been a women's tag tournament.
True. They just would have. Yeah, exactly. So but I don't know. There is that fear in me that Triple H thinks they're ready, but I don't think so. I don't think anyone can watch their backstager and think that it's time.
It's such a random asset. It's like this is their on-screen tryout for the main roster.
Like this is a camera test.
Some people are going to love Nikita Lyons. Some people are going to love Zoe Stark. And clearly Zoe Stark is beloved in Florida, but sure, okay. And like Nikita Lyons is also enjoyed by many places that are not Twitter. And that's fine. Sure, whatever. This is their opportunity, and we'll see what they do with it. But Natty and Sonia on SmackDown were very much standing there watching that opening contest with Raquel and Aaliyah and Zai and Shotzi being like, we're scouting our competition. It's like, what do you mean you're scouting your competition? Your competition's next week.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't. Doesn't take much.
And then apparently Michael Cole
tape.
like gave it away and said something like, in 2 weeks they have the winners of this team. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Hold up. Just stumpier than before.
Yep. So whatever came and went. The women's tag tournament, I think, is a lot more interesting than people are expecting. I don't think it's going to be as cut and dry as Io and Dakota. And I said that. I said Io and Dakota got it. They're in the final. But if Io and Dakota get pinned and they're out of the tournament, then they'll announce that Clash of the Castle is going to be the finals. If they go Io Dakota before Clash of the Castle, then it feels like they'll have the team of Io Dakota and Bailey walking in with, we got the women's tag titles, and then they'll have Bianca Belair with the Raw women's title, and then maybe Asuka and Alexa are like, I want a chance at that titles. Make it a winner take all type of thing. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's good. It's intriguing.
It is. There's a lot going on. Seth Rollins beat Angelo Dawkins in a good match.
Yep.
I don't have anything to add to that. Do you?
No, it was good. They did a little backstager about Riddle. It was good. Good. Advancing the story a little bit at a time.
Bro.
Dana White line. Choice.
Randy. Yeah, that was actually
it was all
very
good. It was all
I enjoyed it.
Loved it.
Ray and Dominic and Edge. And the line of the night, which was, you should trust him. I've known Edge for 20 years. And then Dom looks at his dad and says, well, you've known me for 25 years.
Petulant brat.
I'm like, he's got a good point, Ray. You are his dipshit. He's your dipshit son.
Yeah,
okay?
You made him this way. It's great that Rhea whooped his ass. That was great. I love this. I love everything about it. They've taken Dominic and put him in a position where I want to watch him. I want to see what happens to him on TV, as long as he's getting his ass beat by Rhea Ripley every week. Sub Mysterio,
and they keep doing it because people keep interacting with it on socials. People love this shit. It's ridiculous.
But that's the thing. They finally, they took a feud that I hated. I wanted to go away in every sense, everyone involved, and now I'm a little bit interested.
I'm also interested in this Miz and Champa thing.
Yeah,
they've done something with Champa. They've made him a relatable character. They're
brutal
giving you
knee, man. Look, match.
We'll talk about the match. Yeah. The promo that Champa cut with the Harley Race jacket and be like, I'm going to wear this jacket to promote, or not to promote, to sorry, words are hard at noon on a Sunday. He's going to wear it in honor of his trainer Harley Race and all this stuff. It was really good. It was just really good, and it feels like we're going to get a slow burn of Champa and the Miz. Champa's face turn, and then Miz and Champa have a feud, which is fine. I'm good with that. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like Champa is definitely getting the push that he deserves and the push that Triple H wants to give him, because we are NXT.
Yeah, this is much better. like actually enjoying watching the show now.
If you were to shave your beard completely off, like 100%, how long would it take for you to grow it back in like a big bushy style?
Big bushy?
Mm-hmm.
Big bushy, like 3 weeks, I think.
3 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure after KO annihilated Ezekiel, that was the first question Triple H asked him.
Yeah. 100%. How much time you need off?
Ezekiel's like, I guess I can grow this back in like, I don't know, give me a month. Let me go to Cabo, get some good beard oils,
Would be very funny. Just
both
the Elias beard, that's 3 months, baby. I think maybe more.
Yeah, you think so?
That's longer. Big brother Elias gonna come back, avenge his busted brother.
And that's going to be KO and Elias, like we've never seen them before. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I'm really happy to see KO get his fire back, and not just be like that asshole KO who beats people up and then eventually loses. This looks like we can get some sort of the prize fighter back. Just someone with an edge, someone who actually has the ability to be a foil for a top level babyface. I'm good with that. And then Ezekiel coming back is always good entertainment.
Yeah, it was funny.
Even though Triple H hated that character. He's going to come back with a mask and do El Vagabundo again, and everyone's going to be like, I remember that from NXT. And by which I mean like 7 people are going to be like, I remember that from NXT. Either way. So they stretch it out. Ezekiel, poor Ezekiel. I like.
They could get a third. They could get a third brother in there, like midway through the beard regrowth. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Lovely guy.
Oh, by the way, yeah, that's going to be the Elrod or Elrod.
Erwin.
Well, this is my Scientology brother, Elrod.
My God, could use another cult leader character.
I like that they set up Edge and Damien Priest for Toronto. That's going to be a great match. You and I will hopefully be at Raw that next Monday, not this Monday, next Monday. Soon. Yeah, and then we'll talk all about it on this podcast, which is why y'all leave a thumbs up, right? That's why we do it. What else is going on here? Finn and Rey Mysterio, it happened, and Finn won. Cool. They 50-50'd that. Sure, whatever. Yeah. I'm just scrolling through my notes again. Women's tag title. They did a 10-minute match, which was good. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. They did the car stuff. We talked about the car stuff. Lashley and Champa was a great match. Went into the third hour. Just a lot of fun. Really happy. I don't know if I expected Lashley to retain, but I can't tell you.
That's the thing.
Surprised.
No, same. Like I think they gave it a little bit of doubt by having him cut that Harley Race thing, saying like I'm winning for tonight for him. Like I like that. I like that there was uncertainty there. It felt like it was rare before.
And both men looked strong, which is a rarity in WWE these days. They found a way to make Ciampa look credible and remain credible in defeats. He gave Lashley his all. Lashley is that character who is so dominant. He's a human. As is human, he's a dominant looking big dude who can absolutely beat the shit out of you. And for Ciampa to be able to hang with him in the eyes of fans, it makes him look really, really good and really strong. I was a big fan of that. I really liked that, like the match, and I liked the outcome. It made sense. And I do think that Ciampa is going to win that U.S. championship sooner or later.
Yeah. Feels that way. And, you know, that championship actually has some like value now. Both of the mid-card ones. Good.
Omos squats the guy no one cares.
Two guys.
You're right. We're going back to that. Whatever.
I'm fine with that. I like that older style. Like I love the enhancement talent. I love the scrubs, the local scrubs showing up again. I love it so much.
They did it with Hit Row on SmackDown too.
Oh, it's so useful. It's so useful. And it's like it's a 5-minute segment. Who cares? Like do it. Do that as much as you need to. They used to do that on Heat every week.
Yes.
Like,
I was gonna say it was very old school. Of course, they used to do that back in the 70s, back in the 80s, whatever. But they also used to do it as most recently as SmackDown Live in 2016 when they started that up. So I'm a big fan of having enhancement talent.
Same.
And also there are like certain Twitter accounts that will tell you who they are and where you've seen them. And like 90% of the time you've seen them on Dark during the pandemic, or you didn't because you don't watch Dark. Either way, most of these people have appeared on Dark in some form or fashion during the pandemic.
Yeah, of course.
Gable takes on Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler wins in his hometown.
It was good. I like that too. I was like, hey, a match for a match's sake. Like we get Dolph like a hometown thing. What were they at Cleveland?
Yeah, they're in Cleveland, which is his town. That's Ziggler's hometown.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah. And then AJ Styles versus The Miz. Miz does not win in his hometown, but he doesn't get humiliated either. AJ Styles wins. It was a no DQ match. They had set that up earlier with and
it was a good no DQ match. There were things that weren't just kendo sticks, but the kendo stick was used to a fact that I didn't mind it when it's not literally the only thing they're allowed to use. Like
Miz throwing a chair at AJ's head as he goes for the phenomenal forearm. Good stuff. I like
so good. Like this was man, it's such a shock. Like it's so different. I really didn't expect it to be this different. And still stuck with the trappings of old storylines, right? Like they still have what was left for them. So
it feels like they're trying to make you care, which is nice, and make you invest. Yeah, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. And he's not even the one doing the camera shots. Like that's not his call. It's but he's the one executive producing the show. No, I just listen. I'm not going to tell you that like all 3 hours of Raw are unmissable, and you got to watch all 3 hours. No,
it could. If it was not 3 hours, it would be better. But
right, but the money is there, so you get the money and run. You can easily go through 90 minutes of Raw and enjoy it nowadays, which is good. I'll take that any time of the week. Do you want to finish off WWE and then do AEW, or do you want to go to Wednesday and do this chronologically?
Yeah. Let's jump over to SmackDown.
Women's tag team tournament, Aaliyah and Raquel defeated Zaya and Shotzi. It was not surprised. They love Raquel.
Fine. Yeah, this was not like I saw a lot of people being like, "Oh, the wrong team won," and I was like, but like they've actually done. Me neither. Like they've done some work with Raquel. Like again, they're stuck with what they were handed at the end of this. They've done some work on Raquel. They've not done any work for Xia or Shotzi. Like Xia, they gave her a hat. Is better than the AR.
She always had the hat.
The big hat?
She always had it in NXT at least, I think.
I don't think so. I don't remember a big hat.
I don't know.
Big hat.
It's the new Malibu Stacy. It's the same Malibu Stacy as before, but she's got a new hat. I want it.
Anyway, it's better than the AR crap. Hey, that. Shotzi doesn't have her tank back. That'd be nice.
Did they do the Roman tree? Thing. Oh, Roman wasn't on SmackDown, so there was no Roman tree.
It's just the Usos.
I just want to remind everyone about the Roman tree, so I'm just going to put up the Roman tree. Yeah.
Nightmares.
Oh, baby. That is nightmare fuel if I ever heard it. The Roman and Usos tree. The trousseau. Anyway, so the match happens. Yeah, like you said, Raquel Rodriguez is being pushed to the moon. Xia is great. She also KO'd people before she got called up. So there is kind of that. That's not me disparaging her. That's me just being like, check a kicks, and then, you know, we'll keep going. And Shotzi, I love Shotzi. And you know what? There's an opportunity for her to be this like abrasive piece of shit heel, and she's trying to do it. I just think they got to figure out how to do it without making her be yelling into the camera.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, some coaching on when and what to screech, because like the stuff she says doesn't come off as it comes off as like a dork child getting angry rather than like someone who is dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Just like give me a Shotzi that has a little more character behind her. I'd be all for that.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So other than that, I mean, Drew McIntyre came out without the sword. It seems like that's gone for now.
Thank God. Drew's been good. Like he's like, every week you interfere, I'm gonna beat your ass. Loved it. And they did this tag match thing in the end, which like didn't love the 2-on-1, but I do love Madcap Moss continuing to get like some shine in a way that makes sense. Like it works for me having him run out.
It's time.
We're on our way, baby.
We're happening. If we don't get this, then we got to get this. Yeah, look at that smile. That is the smile of a champion. That's the guy. That's my guy. Love you, buddy. Champion right there. Anyway, and I did enjoy that. I didn't enjoy the tag team champions losing, non-title or not. It just felt, it just feels dumb having these.
But it's Drew McIntyre. He's on a different tier, right? They're the tag team main event, different tier. Works for me. Yeah. I don't have a big. I'm not as big on that. Like I don't mind. Like the Usos also win mostly because Roman is also there to protect them and stuff. He wasn't there this week. I don't mind it.
What do you think of Cross's backstage segment? We talked about last week how we need Karrion Kross to not be brooding, angry villain who just like gives you the snarl. And
it's awful, but I'll allow it because this is the type of wrestling like I like when wrestling is this corny. Like if you're going to be that bad, keep putting it on TV. That's fine.
You were fine with the cartooniness.
It was so stupid. Yes.
What did you think? My favorite part is when he peeks around the corner and it's Drew, and as if Drew wasn't like, what? They should have had Drew. If this was like comedic Drew, it would have been hilarious to have him just pop into the shot and be like, hey, what are we doing over here? I saw the camera and the lights and oh, hey, Kross. What are we talking about?
Just off to the side, like eating popcorn, like watching him. Like
Kross just turns the corner and he sees Drew, but it's Drew just staring back at him, being like, with the popcorn.
You about done? Like, I gotta talk about the Usos.
Anyway, it was fine. And again,
I don't mind it because it's so stupid. Like he can be this like guy who thinks he's really tough. Like I'm fine with that. Like,
and I'm seeing people in the chat being like, I was worried Madcap might lose his push. Well, first of all, you got to believe. But also, one of the things that's good right now about where WWE might be going is that they're willing to give weeks off to people. And it's not like take a week off. No, but it's more like creatively we're letting things breathe a little bit.
Just have more stories and then you can. Like that's it.
Take Theory, for example. We saw Theory at the WrestleMania launch party. That was the first time we've seen him since SummerSlam. Maybe he'll be on Raw, but regardless, he's kind of out of sight, out of mind, which is what he should be, because when he pops up with that briefcase, it's going to remind people, oh shit, he actually has a chance.
Let it breathe.
Got to be impactful. And so when that happens, I'm all for it. Either way, the Drew stuff was good. He's finally back to being Drew McIntyre, world beater, not Drew McIntyre, sword swinger who tells stupid jokes.
Oh man, it's good. It's really good. I'm really glad about that.
There's a certain connectivity with the audience that Drew has, and I like that.
Yeah, you feel it, like,
which is hilarious because everyone's like, I want to pal around with this guy, but then you remember like this guy's also like 6'6" and chiseled out of granite, and you're just like, oh, like standing next to him would be a very big shock for many people.
Yeah, I would not feel comfortable palling around with him because he's so imposing, but like he feels like a guy you could have a beer with on TV. So
I told you the mock story with him and Renee and my engagement photos. Did I tell you the story? Yeah. So
maybe.
So my partner, when my wife and I were getting married, the engagement photos that we were doing were happening downtown in Kensington Market in Toronto. And we're just walking by, taking random photos, and I see Renee and I see John Moxley, her husband, and they're just walking down the street. First of all, Renee's like this petite blonde woman, and you can tell that she's there, but she's also wearing a hat, so she's like trying to be kind of incognito, whatever. They're going somewhere, and then John is like this big beastie guy, and he never looked that way because in WWE it's Land of the Giants, but you see John in person and he's 6'3", he's ripped, he was wearing a hoodie, and I was just dumbfounded for a minute, and I'm never like that, and I wanted to get a photo, but like, first of all, they were going to something, like they were in a rush, so something. I didn't even say hello. I was just like, I just crossed paths. I was like, and yeah, it was just a moment, but my point is, you see some of these people in real life and you're just like, oh shit, they are much bigger in person than I thought they would be.
And then I see some people and I was like, oh no, the camera and the lies help a lot.
Look at you, Joe Doring.
He was big. He was a big boy.
He was big, but he wasn't that much taller.
He wasn't that. Yeah. He was like, but he was like 6'3" or 6'1".
Yeah, I'm 6 feet. He was almost mouth to head taller than me.
Yeah, he had that big cowboy hat too.
He did. I'm glad he wore that for our interview.
Yeah, it was great.
Nakamura and Gunther had a really good match. We're going to talk about all the other stuff, like the hit row stuff and all that. Yeah. But I do want to go there because I saw some people being like, oh, that was an unexpected finish. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Gunther has been doing that power bomb.
He's been doing that finish for quite a while. Yeah.
For a while. Yeah. It was very
strange. He did that in NXT UK sometimes too.
Like he did.
Yeah.
Because you can't win on a chop. You just can't win.
No, unless their chest caves in, which I don't think you can really get the AR team on that. No, like, I mean, it was good. They got time too. Like watching Nakamura work and actually work. It's interesting. Enjoying it. He had his black and gold pants on, manifesting. Didn't work out, but he was trying.
I am so sure that Nakamura was going to get it. But you know what? I like that Nakamura seems to have this reinvestment in his wrestling. I'm all for that. Let's keep that up. I wonder what happens now. They're not going to do a rematch so quickly unless something personal happens. But Gunther is not exactly the personal type when it comes to his wrestling.
Neither is Nakamura. Like, they can only do so much personal. Like, remember AJ Styles? Like, it just becomes each other in the ball.
Andy!
Yeah. Like, what do you? I don't know.
I'm sorry for your ears, friends. Anyway, actually, I really like that Wendy thing. It was so stupid. But yeah, could you imagine? It's Gunther and Kaiser. They kidnap Nakamura's family.
His surfboard.
They kidnap his surfboard.
They chop it in half. My God!
Chop the surfboard. You want to surf all the time. How about you surf this? And it just cracks in half. And then Nakamura is in the background, and he does the no,
a single tear.
I wish I do have it, but I can't upload it in time. The Tommy Dreamer when Johnny Bravo got shot.
Oh my God.
And Impact ends with him just going, no. Oh, good stuff. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey. She comes out and she's just like, hey, I got a duffel bag full of money. I can afford this shit. Here's my fine money. And first of all, I was just like, okay, this is great for like all the wrong reasons. I enjoyed it.
It was some stuff. I did too. I hate Ronda Rousey. Like,
Thank you.
can't stand her. She actually had a little bit of charisma in this. And I mean, like, she did stuff that I hate. Like, say, I can afford it, but that gets over with a lot of Americans.
People
That's
love
a popular
that
thing. Like, yeah, it was entertaining at least. I thought it was stupid. And again, I can't stand Ronda Rousey, but like, this worked. And then I'll let you drive the shit. But like, yeah, Ronda Rousey, pretty good. It's like, okay.
I thought the money was going to be her saying, I'm going to buy out Shayna Baszler's spot in the match, because I said it after SummerSlam. I said she's going to take 3 weeks off. They're going to give her a fine and suspension gimmick, and then she's going to come back, and it's going to be Rousey. And there is no way Ronda Rousey isn't going to be in Cardiff. There is no way she's missing that stadium show, because she's being. This is a massive show. You cannot have Ronda Rousey not there unless you cannot physically travel to the UK, which I don't think is the case. Either way, I enjoyed her popping up. I thought that the reaction for the crowd, like you, was friggin' strange.
It was funny as hell. I was just like, yeah, Merca.
Yeah, exactly. It was what it was. And then Shayna Baszler comes out and she confronts Rousey on the rampway, being like, "You can't do that. That's not how things
You have to follow the rules." I was like, "What the?"
When did Shayna Baszler become like Little Miss Rule follower? And my favorite thing, by the way, shout out to Shayna Baszler wearing her 2002 Triple H cosplay.
It was spot on.
Had the denim jacket with the leather.
Cosplay. Like, yeah.
She had to very gingerly take it off to put the armbar on Liv. Good on her. Yeah, and then Liv comes out.
Liv comes out.
They would sign the contract. They talk. And a bootleg Ronda Rousey is what Liv calls Shayna Baszler. I'm like, oh, kind of. They are besties.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then the crowd starts chanting, "You tapped out at Liv again." And the Liv thing is very strange. It is.
I don't know. Her promos also suck. Like, her on the mic is brutal. Like, Ronda outdid her this week. Like,
Liv's really good at her promo being underdog.
Yeah.
And they tried to play that up further when she won the championship. Now they are trying to pivot, but it's not working.
It's the pacing of her speech. It's the monotonous, like it's monotone.
They're keeping her, by the way, this plucky underdog favorite because her arm is hurt.
Which, okay, I actually like that. Giving her the little bulldog thing makes sense. Like, that stuff will work over time, I think. It's just, I don't know. It's the promo stuff that's really killing me. Like, she sounds like she can't move her face or emote when she talks, and it concerns me.
Yeah, I don't know what they're planning on, but it was just, it was different. It was not my favorite, but I'm looking forward to seeing how they treat her at Clash of the Castle. I'm looking forward to seeing how, if they do the thing where she like pretends to be hurt until the beginning of the match, and then she takes off the brace and she's like, "I'm fine, bitches." But it's also Liv. She's never been dominant champion Liv Morgan before.
No, like I like the bulldog. I make her Spike Dudley, like that type of stuff. I think that could work. We'll see.
I feel like they'll just go back to Ronda. I do. I feel like they'll do the triple threat, and they'll have Ronda pin, I don't know, Shayna, and then they'll do Shayna versus Ronda. And I mean, that's how Vince McMahon would have done it. I don't know how Triple H would book it.
Yeah, it's hard to read this. I don't know where it's going to go. I am intrigued, though. I'm not turned off by what is happening in this story. I still want to see it.
Might you say, Tim, that you're titillated?
No, not for this. For others.
No, but you were titillated for the Maximum Male models.
I'm glad they got the week. See, they got the week off, and then they came back and they did something interesting. They were so greased up. I've never.
Oh yeah.
Also, like them saying that like those photos probably suck. I was like, yeah, they're at a terrible angle. Like this is an awful shoot. Like everyone is cheating. Everyone is cheating the camera in the scene to every single person. It's just like you're trying to fit like what 6 people on screen at the same time. It's like, that's tough.
Do you boot Max Dupree out just to bring in Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo? Are you trying to say that Max Dupree is not worth just one person? He's worth 2 people. That's value right there.
I don't know. It's intriguing because, again, like, kick him out, get LA Knight back. I'm fine with that. But I also don't mind if this continues.
Maxine Dupree looked more in lust with these guys than she did intrigued by their modeling abilities.
Exactly. It's interesting because we're setting up a tag team match, a little tag team match that doesn't have any real stakes. It's just nice to see because I feel like I haven't seen it on WWE programming in years. Like that quick little interaction. Probably won't see a match for 2 weeks.
And again, going back to the Vince stuff, I think we would have just seen maximum male models week after week after week in a backstage segment until Vince got sick of it and then tossed it aside and did nothing with it.
Never to be heard from again. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounded like, for all intents and purposes, he was kind of going that way because he was getting sick of Max Dupree. And I wouldn't be surprised if Max was like, have them wrestle. Why are they just doing this? And Vince was like, I don't want them to wrestle. I want them to entertain. God damn it.
Titillate.
I want them to titillate. The juices of your guilty pleasure. Tell them that.
Oh, man. Anyway.
5 million riding on this. Me and Donald. Anyway.
No more 5 millions.
Ricochet is going to have another match with Baron Corbin.
Also,
but he wants the Intercontinental Championship. At least he made that known.
His promos don't suck anymore. What happened?
No, they're not that great, but they're there.
They're not that bad, though. Like, I don't know. He emotes.
He does. Where's a
He's
lot
still
of
a dork, terrible attire. Like, but like, you know, I don't know. I'm okay with dork Ricochet as long as he, you know, because he shows out in the ring. So
did you see him dancing at the WrestleMania party?
I did. Yeah.
Dork.
Yeah.
He's happy. Good enough for him. Yeah. So strong episode of SmackDown. We're not bearing the lead here. Hit Row returns. That means on Raw we had the return of Dexter Lumis. On SmackDown we had the return of Hit Row. And then when we talk about AEW very shortly, CM Punk came back. Kenny Omega's probably coming back this coming Wednesday. A lot of wrestlers kind of filling the spots again. And like, really, Bray Wyatt's on the table.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I think it's done. I think he's signed. I really do.
Tasha Naomi is another one. So basically, as this is the comedy side, I'm sitting here. Remember when TK was bringing people back all the time, and people were like, "It's too many returns, it's too many things," and then TK would do the weekly has a huge announcement. I'm waiting for them to do Triple H has a huge announcement to open up Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Because we're almost there. We're all like Triple H looked at the TK formula while he was away and said, like, "Oh, I can do that.
I can do that.
I can do that. I can do that better." In fact, so I'm enjoying this. I don't love the TK bringing in 1 billion people formula. I don't.
No, me neither. But WWE needs it, whereas AEW absolutely doesn't. Like,
exactly.
Like here's the thing. Let's go to Hit Row specifically. Everyone immediately said like, "Oh, where's the fourth? Oh, there's no swerve. Oh, there's no." I was like, you know what they don't need is like 3-man groups. They need tag teams. They're fine as they are. Like,
we need more trios. Damn it.
WWE is like Hit Row is fine with
Yeah.
Top Dollar and Ashante the Adonis because like.
Yeah, by the way, I don't put Trick and Mello. Don't put Mello in Hit Row. That was a very weird thing. And listen, I was.
Yeah. Where it's just like someone was like, "Stop putting your." I think it was Top Dollar. It was like, "Stop putting all your favorite black wrestlers in our stable. Like, we're not taking applications." Like,
so here's the thing. I was on a watch along with 2 black men, and I was like, "You guys, like, we all know why people are saying put Mello and Trick into Hit Row," and I was like, and they're just like, "Because he's black." I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm like, I don't want to put it like I shouldn't be the guy who was saying, but like it's very plainly obvious, and it's very, very strange that people immediately equate like my favorite black wrestlers should all be in a stable together. Like I don't do that, because I want to see them. I want to see my favorite wrestlers in various parts of TV, not just lumped together in one segment.
They need tag teams, duos. Like,
yeah, exactly. Let Ashante the Adonis and BFAB and AJ Francis. What are they calling him? They call him AJ. Top dollar. Not nada. Let them, all 3 of them, shine as a trio / a duo with a manager or a valet or whatever they're going to call it.
Just fine. He's all fine. It's all good.
Swerve's happy for them, as he should be. They're all buddies. Like, forget about it. Yeah, and in the chat, like Johnny and Candice is another return possibility. That's another man and a woman to add to the roster. Braun, I don't know if Braun's going to be coming back so quick.
You don't think so?
I think he's still got a narrative to finish controlling, but his partner is still part of WWE
So.
and being pushed heavily, but who knows? Yeah, like there was a nation of domination talking about the show. Like I didn't want to go there, but like it is what it is. Either way, it's just very, very strange, and I never understood it. And by the way, you don't add Trick and Mello to that group. You know who you add to that group? Santos Escobar.
Stop it.
This is my new family, and they're just going to be like, get the hell away from us.
Please leave.
No, you know who you add? It's not Santos. You add Cameron Grimes.
Oh my God.
We're going to the moon.
I can rap. My theme song's a rap song now.
I had rap. I like rap. Rap is not crap. Anyway, let's move on.
You're saying rap.
Ramp is cramp. That's for later. But okay, so here's the thing. Once upon a time, people were kind of talking about the what happens when you run out of pops story. You know, Tony Khan is just building a company based on pops. Now we're literally looking at this on the WWE side. It's like, man, you just bringing back everybody. But again, depth in the roster is what we're working towards.
This has a purpose. Like they need people because they do not have enough. Like
it's just really funny to watch. Like it's not the conversation because people aren't actually having this conversation, which is great in some ways because the tribalism is not there. But it's nice to see that like there's an expressed interest in Triple H stacking his roster again and at least trying to make it seem like there's roster depth, whereas on the other side of the aisle, it was always like, oh, there's too many people. And you know what? I agree with that. There are too many wrestlers.
Whereas WWE has 2 shows with 2 separate brands, 3. So like they need wrestlers to fill, like I said, like 10 to 12, 15 stories that need to be ongoing at all times. Like they had like,
and Tony said, he was like, I have 3 hours of TV.
Yeah.
Really, he's got more if you count the YouTube shows. And he's like, and I have to showcase my depth that way. WWE has 7.5 hours or whatever it is of their show, and they have to showcase their depth in that way. Now, that would have been an excellent point to make if it had been the other way around, that AEW has 7.5 hours of TV and WWE has 3.
Yeah, like his doesn't make sense because they're also like, it is one, like I don't know. It's frustrating to me because like it feels like they're going by the seat of their pants, just trying to pop people like one week to the next rather than long-term builds. Like their pay-per-views feel like episodes of Dynamite for the most part. Like the big matches are still like we just saw an amazing pay-per-view quality match with Chris Jericho, John Moxley built on a Dynamite in like 2 weeks. Like, and then we do, what's the next pay-per-view? All Out? Is that
All Out is in 3 weeks.
Yeah. Like it's just going to feel like another Dynamite. Like, I don't know.
So let's talk about that main event. Yeah. How did you feel about Mox and Jericho? Good match? Great match?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah. He came out to not Judas, which I was incorrect about. Expected Judas.
I think because it was so obvious, they didn't go with it.
Yeah.
But it was good.
So yeah, it was good.
Good match. There was some discourse, of course, about the lion tamer through the commercial break. I enjoyed it. I thought it was silly, stupid shit. They don't need to. It's a rest hold. And you know what? I know it's Jericho's like submission move, but come on. We all know what this is. And we knew that you look at the clock, you know how much time is left. The fact that they ended 5 minutes early, that got people talking. So
yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. And I'll pull up pile driver finishers being like, WWE is just getting by. Can't tell whether AEW is surviving or thriving. And it's true. I have weeks where I'm like, oh, AEW is absolutely firing on all cylinders.
It's up and down. Like I just want more. Again, I want more stories out of both of them. Like WWE seems to be working towards that direction, but again, they're working from a deficit. AEW has all of the potential to do it. It's just I feel like Tony Khan's getting in his head about what's happening and just feeling more panicked than he needs to be about things. Like people are watching, the shows are selling. Like
it's also, I don't know. Again, you can go to the hardcore internet crowd and absolutely book for them, and that crowd will be happy forever and ever, amen. But again, like, people are going to keep bringing up what happens to the second million. It's not even about the second million. It's just, how do you make your product, how do you make it sexy? How do you make it viewable? And how do you make it engaging for people who don't know the things that you're trying to tell them, right? How do you invite them into your product if they don't understand what your product is beyond like, oh, they sometimes don't even tell you, like, this guy was big on the indies. Like the Mance Warner thing, I understood some of the conversation involved, but also I think AEW did a really good job of showing videos of Mance Warner. They showed him winning at Ric Flair's last match. They made sense of him.
They have been doing better at that. Like there was another, I can't remember who it was recent, like this week. There was another thing where they gave me a recap that made. Oh, it was Ricky Starks versus Solo.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that, they gave a little recap. Like they're doing better at that. A big part of that is also because the New Japan relationship helps them, because not from that one specifically, but in general, they're getting the footage they need to tell the stories when they're trying to do it in 5 minutes. Like I'm feeling that's a little bit better, but it's still like they're just throwing stuff at me left and right.
And that's the thing. So Punk comes back, great. Everyone's super jazzed. Everyone's really excited, rightfully so, because we were all talking a few weeks ago how maybe Punk's not ready. They saw him at San Diego Comic-Con and he was limping, but really he was working everyone. Great. Love that for us. However, he comes back and it's fine. And he clears house and they do the thing with Mox. The stare down is great. Again, the last 5 minutes of Dynamite, probably the best. If they had just done the gang war shit, everyone would have been panning this entire episode.
Yeah.
That's 100%. The recency bias, Tim. That's the I don't think that this episode of Dynamite was great. I don't think it was.
It wasn't
really
exceptional.
Fun.
Like, it had its moments. The opening match was like, again, the wrestling, a lot of it was really good, but the narrative stuff, me.
You have 3 managers doing the exact same thing on one show, and that is trying to get people into your group. You can't do that 3 times in one show with 3 different managers of 3 different groups, because there's no reason for them to be loading up their groups. Like they're not telling you why these people are competing for these people to join them.
I saw some people talking about Stokely trying to recruit non-black wrestlers. That's fine. Like I'm not complaining about that. What I am complaining about is the need for Stokely to have more than one group. Like I don't. Why the hell is he not satisfied with Jade, who's a 36-0 champion, like, and the baddies who need to actually wrestle and win? Like, I don't think that he needs to have other factions. I think he just needs TV time that is like compelling. So like, I don't know. That's frustrating to me, because like I don't need to see this. I don't need to see him recruiting the ass boys. I don't need, like.
It's funny as it was.
Yeah, it's funny. It is funny. Like they're writing funny little bits, but there's no through line and stuff gets dropped all the time. And that's starting to get tedious, right? Like,
Young Bucks stuff with Dark Order and Hangman, that's coming together in a way that I like. I will give them praise for that, because the segment, while it felt like it kind of went on a little too long, they kind of waited a lot for stuff. It still felt like, Bucks being turned down by Adam Page felt like a big moment. It felt
that's the right choice. They made it was a big letdown, and it was Adam Page being like, I'm going to be in Dark Order's corner. And now people are kind of putting 2 and 2 together. This week they're doing a trios match with Kenny and the Bucks, really. The Bucks are a mystery partner. I like the nod to Cutler at the end. I thought that was okay. Like, I don't want it to be Kenny. I really don't want it to be Kenny.
You know what it's going to be? It's not going to, it's going to be like Flip Gordon, and everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck this.
I want them to come out with Brandon Cutler and just look really sad about it. Just be like, oh, we're going to lose. And then Kenny just comes out, and like that would be fine with me if that's Kenny's return, as long as they tease that it's going to be Cutler. But if they come out and it's Kenny, I'm just like, okay, yeah, of course it is.
It's Scott Steiner.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. It's
Big
just
Papa Pump.
I don't even know where they are this week. I'm sure someone in the chat's going to tell me where AEW is this week. I can easily just do this. I think they're in West Virginia. They're in Charleston, West Virginia.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's a West Virginian wrestler that can join them? Matt Seidel. I don't know where Matt's from.
No, either way, he seems like a Florida person.
So we saw the trios brackets, again, stumpy brackets. I know you love those. And the finals are all out, because of course they are. Are we doing Dark Order in the finals with Hangman in their corner versus the Young Bucks and Kenny? And then a Dark Order member gets taken out, like John Silver, and then Paige has to get involved and join the team for the trios final.
See, that's interesting. There's options. They have a ton of options with this, and I think that could be cool.
Yeah, there's something in that. Or you can just do, the Bucks and Kenny make it to the finals against House of Black, and then it's a pretty good heel face matchup. I would be fine with that too. It feels like everyone else is just inconsequential to their brackets. And of course we got to set up Kenny and Will Ospreay, the Aussie Open. They've got their Aussie Open has a Death Triangle in their first round match. So let's just assume Death Triangle loses, but let's also assume that Kenny and Ospreay are going to have some sort of interaction. If they're smart, the match that they do with Kenny and the Bucks versus, and again, we're completely assuming that it's Kenny and the Bucks because they basically told you without telling you. The idea is you do Kenny and the Bucks versus Ospreay and Aussie Open, and don't have Kenny and Ospreay touch at all in that trios match.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do your best to lay that out. I don't think that triangle's winning because I don't think that Pac is around enough to.
No, it's too. Yeah.
That's why they gave him the All Atlantic Championship. They were just like, go to the UK, go do everything, but do it under the guise of an AEW champion. And I think that's great. I actually,
move.
The second he won that title at Forbidden Door, I was like, oh, I guess that means that he's working the UKs with that title. And he's working the UK Indies with that title. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's fine. He's a brand ambassador.
You know what? You can use it that way, and it makes sense. Absolutely. It's a good way to get the company out there and getting people talking about it. I'm fine with that.
Makes sense to me.
Exactly. Is there what else from AEW was good this week? They did the Lucha Brothers versus La Facción and Gobernables, but
good
honestly,
match. Yeah,
like they do the monthly or bi-monthly. Penta gets his mask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole back half of it. Actually, I stopped paying attention, but the start of it was good.
And the coffin match.
The coffin match was great. I really enjoyed that, and I was going back and forth, but it was like, do I really need to see Darby win another coffin match? And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Let him have a special boy little match. Like, that's okay.
Good boy. Good match. Who's going to beat Darby Allin in his coffin match, though? And why is it Sting?
Let's build it to 9-0 in coffin matches and then have him lose one.
That's the way to do it. It's going to be Julia Hart versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. Julia Hart gets her big win.
That Miro promo.
I don't know what she just pops up out of nowhere in the shadows, just like, "Hey, I'll have sex with you."
It felt like bad high school theater.
It did. Only one woman can touch me. And that
you are not her.
You are not her. Okay, I get it.
I love how he added that extra line that was completely unnecessary. And you are not her. Yeah, that was inferred from your first statement, but that's fine.
All I'm saying is that maybe because they're both blonde, they get a little confused once in a while. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
You can also leave a thumbs up on this video while you're here because that's just what you do.
It's good. Again, this was another one. This is on the same level as the cross thing for me. Like, it was bad, but I enjoy it. I don't mind Miro being such a freak.
You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about my favorite moment from Rampage. Hook comes out to Tony Schiavone. And Tony's just like, hey, you won the title. Yup. Hey, you want to defend it next week? Yup. Who are you going to defend it against? And then out comes who?
Some guy.
I wrote down on Twitter, and that's JWoww's husband, by the way. And people were just like, oh. So stupid. Zach Clayton. People were very confused.
The main
even added me.
Yeah, I was like, at Joel Pearl, who is this guy? And you had already answered it, and I just didn't see it in the timeline. Like,
amazing.
Rampage was just like, how can we add even more people who suck to our roster, who don't need to be signed or present on AEW programming when we have a roster this deep?
He's done a bunch of dark. I get it. I mean, clearly they like it.
I don't care.
Again, okay, this is the big thing with the Parker signing. And I mentioned this on
why
Twitter
is he signed is insane to me. Like, this is absolute lunacy, because it's like, what do you see in this guy? Like,
and before everybody tries to jump in and be like, well, a Ring of Honor is supposed to be a developmental territory. Here's the problem with calling it a developmental territory. You don't have any developmental coaches in place right now to make this make
Claudio
sense.
Castagnoli is your champion.
Well, that's just to get them on TV. But my point is, if you're going to call AEW, or if you're going to call Ring of Honor your developmental territory, you have to have something in place to show that you have development going on.
Yeah.
I said it on Twitter. I'm like, he's your problem now. Parker is whatever. He's fine. Zach is not signed, by the way. Zach Clayton, as far as I understand, he is not signed
there, which is again a waste. Like, it's such a waste. You're ruining opportunities for people who are actually being paid by you, like via contract. Anyway,
Parker is signed. So Parker is signed. He got the graphic from Tony Khan. He's like, you want a match, therefore you get. And I was like, that's it. You win and get in. But on top of that, I was like, Parker's going to. He's going to have his match on Rampage. They'll win it. Or wait, who are they facing? The Best Friends? Maybe they won't. Whatever. After the tournaments, he's gone. Like he's going to be Orlando's problem now because he'll be on Dark. And I get that people are just like, every time people show up, they just wind up on Dark. And that's not the case. This is the case for this one.
Yeah, he is not ready. Like, you can look at anyway. His moveset is small. He has a weird brand, man, that he insists on keeping.
And they're not letting him be trendsetter Parker because apparently, like, if you go on his Instagram, he's just like, he's very fashion forward. He's very well, connected when it comes to that world and some of the hip hop world. Work on that. Don't have him look like dollar store Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, with his puppy paw tattoos on his shoulder, very visible in the close-ups. I was like, okay, that's tough, I guess.
So when Harland debuted, well, first of all, they rushed the shit out of that. That's different.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, when Harland debuted, everyone was like, "You covered him up. Why would you put the full bodysuit on?"
Because he's made some choices.
Now, you're seeing this is the MVP thing. When MVP was brought into WWE, Vince McMahon immediately was like, "Cover up your chest, get something. Don't wrestle in a t-shirt, but get something." And so he went with that zip up, whatever.
Which worked.
And it worked for him. But the point was, Vince he didn't like his stomach. That's fine.
There was
a physique
Vince's
thing.
Nonsense. Like,
it was
they did the same thing with Keith Lee completely incorrectly. But
right, exactly. But with Parker, it's just like there was a reason why they covered him up that way, and partially it was to give you a better more physical look. Someone
if he wants to be Brock Lesnar, like, you can have bad tattoos, but they have to look imposing.
They do. So they
made
him
your
look
puppy's
imposing.
paw is like, I get it. It's a personal decision. I have tattoos, like, but my tattoos. If I pop my shirt off, I'm not going to look like a scary man. Like, they're like cute little animals. But like, anyway.
So above all of this, I don't know why they signed him.
It seems
I don't understand why.
And like, I don't mind this Trustbuster thing, but like. Arya Davari's not selling it to me. He kind of reeks of like desperation to get over on TV. So it's like, I don't believe you're a billionaire, which is what you're kind of signaling. Like,
show me that you're going to start a development territory, and show me that you have development coaches in place if this is the way you want to run your company. And that's fine. WWE is absolutely the only company out there that runs a developmental system in professional wrestling, and it works for them some of the time. But either way, the point is,
might work better now.
The idea is they bring in people to teach them their way of wrestling, of WWE, of sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it, and it works for them, or at least it's supposed to. The AEW way could easily just be, we're going to pick the indies. And we're going to pick some of your favorites in the indies, and we're going to bring them in, and we're going to give them opportunities, and that's going to be good. But they're not doing that. They are doing that. Plus, they're bringing in developing talent talent
I mean, they've hired Madison Rayne and stuff, and they have the Nightmare Factory people. Like, there's stuff they could do. It could be in process. Like, I'm not saying it's not something that they're working on. I don't know. I don't think that they have explicitly signaled that Ring of Honor is destined for this. I really don't think that has he said anything. He's never said
but that was the initial report.
That was the initial.
Was a Cassidy Haynes report. But the thing is, Cass is usually pretty good with that. Things can change. Things can easily change, and it'll come down to what type of deal they're able to secure when it comes to their television and any other product.
Yeah, and like, well, anyway, Madison Rayne's there. Maybe she can work as a coach, because that was the intention, I thought. But the first thing they do is throw her on TV, and I was like, oh, well, I guess she coaches while doing, like, I don't know.
I don't know what to expect, but I'm hoping for better. And again, I shouldn't have to preface this, but every time we talk about this stuff, it's because we're trying to we're trying to make things better, or we're trying to give our view on how things could be better.
Yeah, like I thought Dynamite was pretty good, but then Rampage was like a letdown. I'm glad to see Sonny get some shine. It's in an unexpected way. We'll see where it goes. It doesn't not have potential. Like, just like Parker, he doesn't not have potential. I just don't think he's at the point where he should be getting shots over other people who are very talented. Like,
once again, currently, and this can always change given how things play out, I don't see this going out of Orlando moving forward. Like the Sunny Kiss and Parker stuff, I see them doing a Beauty and the Beast tag team, but it's going to be on Dark. And if that works fine. But like, I don't see it happening anywhere else right now on the main roster.
Yeah.
Sorry. On Dynamite or on Rampage. That's just how I feel. That's just where we're in. So we'll see. I see in the chat someone saying Dynamite's been on a hot streak the past 3 weeks. I don't fully agree with that. I think that this past week was much bigger because of the CM Punk return and a really good, basically a really strong open and a really strong close.
Yeah, it was bookended
rest of the show,
very well. Very well.
Go back and watch the rest of the show. Again, it's subjective entertainment. I didn't care for a lot of the stuff in the middle, but the opening and the closing were great.
They had the Buck stuff.
Again, stuff in the middle. I didn't go through and be like, this is the best show ever. Oh my God. But I definitely walked through and I was like, that's fine. 2.5 things, right? Coffin match, Punk's return, the Bucks. Those were my things that I remember.
So effective. Like things. It was a well-run show. Again, I didn't need all the Quake at the Lake crap.
What was the House of Dragons?
Yeah, I know. Next week is holy hell. If I can never hear about Game of Thrones again, which was the most disappointing piece of content I've ever seen. Like,
enjoy.
I have been disappointed significantly less by all wrestling because I have way less expectations out of it. Like, Game of Thrones is infuriating to be reminded existed, and I don't care about your spin-off series. You ruined the main one.
Will the dragons show up in this one?
I don't care. The 2 out of 3 falls sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Though that's the American dragon. He'll show up for that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get out of here. Tim, where can the people find you on the internet?
They can find me at TimStoneP, TIMBSTONEP, Twitter, Instagram.
It's youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked. We drop this content every single day. Sometimes twice a day. Go check out Newsworthy with me and Jeremy Lambert. We talk about the news you may have missed and some of the news that you probably saw and made fun of on the internet. We do that every Saturday. We drop that. We record it on Friday. Don't tell anybody. I'm Actual Pearl, JOELPEARL. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.